Imagine being born into a world that sees you as a rare person. Your skin doesn't tan, it burns. Your eyes don't just see, they fight to see. You are not rare by accident. You are not extraordinary by chance. You are nature, just written in a different code. You are 1 in 20,000. You are human, and your body simply refuses to make one tiny molecule the rest of the world takes for granted: melanin. Welcome back to the Science Curiosity. The Science Curiosity. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood genetic conditions on Earth: albinism. The science behind the skin, the truth behind the myths, and the silent war being waged inside every single cell. The word itself comes from Latin albus, meaning white. But albinism is so much more than a color. It's a full-body rebellion at the molecular level. A rare, inherited condition where the body cannot produce or properly distribute melanin, the pigment that colors your skin, your hair, and even the back of your eyes. And here's what most people don't realize. Albinism isn't one disease. It's an entire family of them. Scientists have identified at least 7 types of what we call oculocutaneous albinism, OCA1, all the way through OCA7. Then there's ocular albinism, which affects only the eyes. And then the truly rare syndromic forms: Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome, Chediak-Higashi syndrome, where albinism is just one symptom of something much larger happening inside the body. Every single one of them starts with a tiny error in a single gene. So let's zoom in, deep into your skin. Inside the bottom layer of your epidermis live cells, called melanocytes. They make up only about 5 to 10% of the cells there, but they are the artists of the human body. They paint you. They protect you. They're born from something called the neural crest, migrating during your earliest weeks in the womb, spreading out to color your skin, your hair, your eyes, and even your inner ear. Here's the twist. In people with albinism, those melanocytes are still there. The exact same number. They didn't disappear. They just can't do their job. Because somewhere in the assembly line of melanin production, a single genetic instruction is broken. The first, most critical step in making melanin involves an enzyme called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase takes an amino acid L-tyrosine and converts it, step by step, into the dark protective pigment we call eumelanin. It's the rate-limiting step. The bottleneck. Break tyrosinase, and the entire factory grinds to a halt. That's OCA1. A mutation in the tyre gene. No functional tyrosinase. No eumelanin. Other types break different machines. OCA3 damages tyrosinase's helper enzyme. OCA4 sabotages the pump that delivers raw materials into the melanosome, the tiny organelle where melanin is actually made. Different genes. Different broken parts. Same result: a body without its natural shield. Here's something fascinating. Humans don't make just one type of melanin. We make 2. Eumelanin, the dark black-brown pigment that soaks up ultraviolet radiation like a sponge. It's your body's built-in sunscreen. It absorbs UV rays and scatters their DNA-damaging energy before it can wreck your cells. And then there's pheomelanin, the reddish-yellow pigment. Think red hair, freckles, pale, ruddy skin. Pheomelanin gives color, but it does not protect. It doesn't shield you from the sun. Now here's the plot twist. In most forms of albinism, eumelanin production is blocked, but pheomelanin often isn't. That's why not every person with albinism looks stark white. Some have cream skin. Some have golden hair. Some have hazel or brown eyes. The pigment they do have is pheomelanin, coloring them softly, but leaving them defenseless. Only in the most severe form, OCA1A, is melanin completely, utterly absent. Snow white hair, snow white skin, pink or red eyes, where the light passes straight through the iris and reflects off the blood vessels of the retina behind it. And this is where albinism becomes so much more than skin deep. Because melanin isn't just for color. Melanin is a builder. Before you were even born, Melanin was quietly conducting an orchestra inside your developing eyes. It told the fovea, that tiny central pit of your retina responsible for sharp vision, how to form. It guided the optic nerve fibers as they threaded from your eyes to your brain. In albinism, that orchestra plays with a broken conductor. The fovea never fully develops. The optic nerves misroute, sending signals to the wrong side of the brain. And the result is a lifetime of visual challenges. Nystagmus, where the eyes flicker involuntarily side to side. Strabismus, where the eyes can't align. Extreme sensitivity to light, called photophobia. Refractive errors. Poor depth perception. Visual acuity that ranges anywhere from 20/60 to 2400. Most children with albinism will never see the world in high definition. Their eyes are wired differently, not broken, but built on a foundation that was missing its most important material. Now let's talk about the greatest danger. For most of us, a sunburn is uncomfortable, a nuisance. For someone with albinism, the sun is genuinely, biologically dangerous. Without eumelanin, every photon of UV radiation hits skin cells with almost nothing to slow it down. DNA gets damaged. Mutations pile up. And the risk of skin cancer skyrockets. In some African populations, people with albinism face a relative risk of squamous cell carcinoma up to 1,000 times higher than the general population. 1,000. Skin cancer can appear as early as the teenage years. More than 75% of malignancies in people with albinism are squamous cell carcinoma, often on the head, face, and hands. This is why sun protection isn't optional. It's survival. SPIF 30 or higher, applied every 2 hours. Wide-brimmed hats. Up-labeled clothing. Long sleeves. UV-blocking sunglasses. Yearly, sometimes twice yearly, skin checks with a dermatologist. And then there are the rare, dangerous cousins of albinism, the syndromic forms. Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome, where albinism comes bundled with a bleeding disorder because platelets don't work properly. Plus, a slow burning risk of lung fibrosis by a person's 30s. It's rare worldwide, but in Puerto Rico, it strikes 1 in 1,800 people. Chediak-Higashi syndrome even rarer, where the lysosomes inside white blood cells grow into monstrous, useless giants. The result, recurring infections, neurological problems, and a shortened life. And then, 2 syndromes you may have heard of, but never connected to albinism-Angelman syndrome and Prader-Willi syndrome, both caused by deletions on chromosome 15, both sometimes carrying a lighter than family skin tone as a quiet clue to what's happening in the genes. Here's what the textbooks won't tell you. People with albinism have completely normal intelligence. They live normal lifespans in most parts of the world. But in certain regions, particularly parts of sub-Saharan Africa, they face something no medical textbook can cure. Stigma, superstition, there is no cure for albinism. Not yet. But there is hope on the horizon. Gene therapy trials using viral vectors to deliver working copies of the tyrosinase gene. So the next time you see someone with pale hair, translucent skin, and eyes that shimmer in the sunlight, remember what you're really looking at. You're looking at a human being whose body, at the deepest molecular level, forgot to write a single line of code, and who, because of that one missing instruction, must face the sun, the world, and sometimes even their own community, with a courage the rest of us will never fully understand. That's the science of albinism. That's the story behind the skin. If this changed the way you see the world, hit that subscribe button, because in next video, we're diving into another hidden corner of the science you never knew existed.